Hello, my Poly peoples. Okay, so I already went ahead and I actually just finished making this light box because I wanted it to go smoothly on the stream, because this is such a custom made light box that I didn't want a chance stumbling through this, so I kind of went through it beforehand. But in a nutshell, this is not the one. It's not already printed. So we have the Fiberon logo. In order to make this Fiberon logo even next level, what I thought we could do is since this is kind of like print layers, I want to make the LEDs travel up the layers in the path. So the only way that we're going to do that with a good clean LED travel space path, whatever, is we're going to have to section this off. Obviously, if I put an LED down here, let me take this off. If I put an LED, well, same thing. If I put an LED down here and the box is empty like this and no chambers to hold the light, if I put one LED, it's going to shine throughout this entire logo. So I'm going to show you how we're going to chamber that off. Essentially, like this one. This one is very, very minor compared to the Fiberon logo. So what I've done with this one, I have it's actually two chambers in here. So I have the bottom, pan chroma, the name is all sectioned off. You can see top LEDs, bottom LEDs. And then in the feather, top LEDs, bottom LEDs. Okay, so this is two chambers separated from each other. We're going to do that with the Fiberon logo, except this one going to be a tad more extreme than this single little wall. So, and also we're going to put a USB-C plug and everything like that on it. So let's get to it. Let me switch over to the monitor. Okay. So here is what we're looking at on the pan chroma light box in all of its glory. Looks like a normal light box, you say. But it is not. I can assure you, if I take away the box, you can see the PETA it was to chamber off all of these sections. I'll run you through how I decided to do this. Kind of a narrowing down the efforts on what's the easiest way to engineer this without getting too crazy with it. So let me just start from the beginning over here. Started with the Fiberon sketch. So on the Fiberon logo, all of these sections are actually black and not white, but obviously we need white for the LEDs to pass through the light. And I didn't want to just light up the outside of the logo because that would be kind of lame. Why wouldn't you light up the logo itself? So extruded out these white portions of the logo. I did it a little bit backwards from what I normally do, but I'll show you why here. And then after that, we created another sketch on top. And I projected all of these bodies onto a new sketch. And then I offset the bodies in order to make my walls and perimeter. So in order to have a good perimeter, well, this was for the lip. And this is for the inner lip that goes to the inside of the box. And this is the lip that catches it against the face. So I had to section off those two walls. From there, started extruding the back box, the wall. And then from there, we made another sketch on the back side of the box. And I put on the back side of the box just because I didn't want to deal with all these extra lines. I created a sketch on the back face. And what that allows me to do is also put the wall keyhole for the wall hanger. And then also there's not a whole bunch of extra lines to deal with. I just projected that wall. And then from there, I extruded that back wall forwards 2 millimeters. You can see right here. And by extruding that 2 millimeters forwards, I just tied it with the box. And now, as you can see, we have a solid box. So, solid box, and we have the logo. So now we need to fill in the gaps. Next step, filling in the gaps. We made the black component on here. Normal light box procedure, nothing crazy there. Next step, created another sketch. Went ahead and let me turn off these bodies. The next step, I went ahead and put I copy and pasted my D1 Mini mounts, the D1 Mini V3. For those wondering which board I'm using for this. I copied these, Control C, nothing crazy. Came over here, created a new sketch, Control V, just pasted that right on here. Nothing too fancy. Put that on the back wall, because that's where I'm gonna mount the D1 Mini. But there's a catch on this. What I needed to do was also look out for, I gotta get my orientation right. So what I needed to look out for, let me actually turn the box off. So if I have the D1 Mini mounted right here, and I know I'm gonna have dividers or section off this light box, what I didn't wanna do is, obviously, I didn't extrude these out yet, but I didn't need this D1 Mini to be in the way of all the chambers. Let me go ahead and fast forward a bit. And let me just fast forward it all the way. Okay, so what I needed to do is make this mount where it's not going to interfere with the chambers. So if I would have just put this whole deal right in the middle, that obviously it wouldn't have worked. So next step after that, let me hide these. After that, I went ahead and drew the hole that I wanted to place the USB-C plug. I actually have one right here. So I get these off AliExpress, super cheap. They are actually snap. You can see on the side, they are press fit. So after I cut the hole in the box, since these are press fit, I went ahead and put a chamfer, behind that sketch, a chamfer on the sides. That way you can see at the angle, whenever I snap this thing in place, it's gonna pop in there and hold itself in place real nice. So USB-C port right here, the D1 Mini V3. Generally speaking, you need to have these close together because the cables that you get are not very long. You could extend it, of course, but from my friend John, he said you don't want to have these more than about 4 inches away from the D1 Mini, or else you'll start getting minor like interruptions from the power not being perfect, consistent. I don't know if I'm telling that 100% right, but long story short, I keep this as short as possible. I could have just butchered his whole entire statement up, but I try to keep all my cables short as possible. That way I don't have a rat's nest running through the light box. So Next step is, actually it is this inner lip right here, what I connected to the black portion, black component. Turn off the box, and this is the lip that's going to go inside of the box that holds itself in place. So it's going to slide inside of the front. From there, I made another sketch, and this sketch was for the dividers, the different chambers within the box. Then I extruded each one of these chambers out. Let me just pass that all the way through there. Okay, I extruded each one of these chambers out so that it's going to sit flush with the back of the box. So now I have all of my chambers, and I have all of my my white and black and box components. Everything is good to go. All I have to do now is export these components. Let me go ahead and do that just to, we can look at it in the slicer. We save as mesh. We're going to go to Lightbox, brands. I need to make a new folder for this. Polymaker Fiberon logo. I already have a Fiberon Lightbox, which is what I showed you earlier. So I'm titling this one Fiberon logo. Get my Stream Deck shortcuts to make me some folders. STL folder. Save as mesh. And save as mesh. We only have 3 pieces to this entire Lightbox, which is very convenient. Let me open up the slicer. We'll go ahead and organize it. I had actually made part of this, and I didn't scale it properly because I only scaled it to fit the width of the width of the bed. And need a stand. Don't need this plug. All right, base plates. Let me pull those files in here. Polymaker Fiberon logo. With the white and the black. Okay. So this is why I incorrectly scaled it earlier, because I only made it as wide as the bed. So what we can do is go ahead and color these, number 2, flip her over, and rotate it to make it fit. Lovely, perfect. Fits on the bed, won't interfere with any of the lines or the cutting space. Now we can bring the box in. Title, color, this one. Date it. Lovely. All right, and that's all there is to it. Now all I got to do is print this dude. Well, I seem to have made one minor error looking at this now. So what I will have to go back through on Fusion, I'm going to need to make a few channels, some little gaps in between each chamber to pass the cords through. Glad I seen that beforehand. Because if I did not make a channel to pass the cable through, all of these chambers are going to be individual sections that I cannot wire together or put LEDs. So I'm going to go back in Fusion after this is done and put some holes through here, some channels. And that is about it. Go ahead and look on here real quick. Box, I don't need to see the box. I'm actually going to make this start. LED 1 is going to start down here and work its way up. This will probably be like LED 15 or so, and then we'll start 16 to just say 25. 26 to 35, and then probably 36 to like 50, or I'm just making up numbers, but this is how I'm gonna pass the LEDs. So I need to know chamber 1 is gonna go from right to left. I'll need to make a pass through right here. We'd actually do that real quick. It shouldn't take much time. I can just project this body. And then we're going to draw a rectangle. The LED strips are 10 millimeters wide, so we'll just go 12 millimeters wide by 3 millimeters. We'll give, let's just go 4 millimeters for safety factor. That should be plenty of gap to pass the LEDs through here. So I'm actually going to pull that very close to the edge, not all the way to the edge, just in case we have some fitment issues. We're going to finish sketch. I'll save you the boredom of going through here and sectioning or cutting holes in all of these. But that's how we're going to channel this. My next channel will be somewhere on this face to feed over into here, and then over here to go up. All right. Well, I believe that's it for today. If you have any questions, I'll meet you down in application hangout. For everyone watching live, thank you for watching live. If you're watching afterwards on YouTube or my website, if you have any questions, just shoot me a message, and we'll see if we can figure it out. But remember, every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central, Polymaker Discord. You can just check the socials for the links, or just Google search Polymaker Discord, and it'll be right there. Thank you, everyone, and we'll go down to the application hangout.